In this video, I want to react to some trans athletes, a trans powerlifter, and all of the bands and what my personal feelings on the bands are. So let's get started with Janae Kroc. She's a trans powerlifter, and here's her story.
Everything she said about me is incorrect, and as a result, I'm experiencing a lot of hate.
Hello, hi, my name's Mo, and I thought today I would talk about Blaire White because recently she has come out with a video that is just... it's bad. It's really bad, and I want to talk about it. Before I get into it though, I would just like to say thank you for all the support that I got on my video about Cavetown. At the time of recording, that has got, I think, over 150,000 views, which is mental to me. I can't really comprehend it, but I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the support, so thank you. But anyway, that is irrelevant. I just wanted to let you know that I see you and I do appreciate it. But anyway, what has Blaire White done now? Blaire White came out with a video on trans athletes, and in it she shared a bunch of really damaging misinformation about another trans woman called Janae Kroc. Now in this video, I'm not going to be going into the arguments on whether or not trans people should be allowed to compete, because that's not actually relevant to this conversation at all. So for those of you who are wondering, who is Janae? Janae is a bodybuilder and world champion powerlifter. She figured out her gender and she transitioned. She never competed in women's sport. She never did. She competed in men's sport when she identified as a man. Yet in that video, Blaire states multiple times that Janae competed in the women's category, and that is just not true. And the thing is, this is a widely known fact. If you Google Janae Kroc, it's one of the first things that comes up. There is no way that Blaire White could have missed this. Or if she somehow did, then, oh my god, what little research does she do? There is no way in hell that Blaire White could have missed this. I fully believe that she was being intentionally dishonest. If by some chance, you know, it was an honest mistake, well, I'm sorry, but that's just not good enough either. Because if you've got an audience of, you know, over 1 million subscribers, well, I'm sorry, you've got to do better research than that. It took me less than 10 seconds to figure that out. Blaire, you're a grown woman. This is ridiculous. It's so irresponsible. I'm going to play you some clips from Blaire's video to just show you what I mean.
The idea, the concept of Janae competing against biological women is ludicrous. It's almost intentionally ignorant, and anyone who thinks that that is some sort of level playing field is a liar. You're lying to her, you're lying to others, and you're lying to yourself, sweetie. The idea that Janae, who transitioned well into her adulthood and developed completely male, can now compete against women is bad. It's a bad idea. It's a failed idea.
But she never competed in women's sports. Never. That's incorrect.
And something we don't often see is that Janae actually went back post-transition and competed against men just because, I guess.
What she really did was transition and then go back to competing in the male category, and then went back to her transition. But she never competed in the women's category. Why are you lying? The only conclusion that I can draw is that Blaire is intentionally lying because it fits her narrative. You know, if you're gonna lie, at least try harder, you know what I mean? This is just like, she's put in no effort. You wanna know what she probably did? She probably just Googled transgender athlete, and Janae just happened to be the first one that popped up, so she chose her. Because why the fuck else would Janae appear in this video where it has no relevance whatsoever? And the issue here is not just that Blaire White is spreading misinformation, although that is a big issue on its own. The issue is also that Janae has experienced a load of hate for something that's not even true. After Blaire White made that video, all her little minions ran over to Janae to go and shit on her. Can you imagine how awful that is? Being a transgender bodybuilder has got to be hard enough as it is without people spreading misinformation.
She's gone back and forth competing with men and women based on I don't know what. I mean, that's just a dick move. No pun intended.
No, Blaire, you want to know what's a dick move? Lying to your audience, spreading a false narrative, and contributing to the unjust harassment of another person. That right there is a dick move. There are so many articles out there about Janae. There's even a fucking documentary. It is not difficult to do your research. If Blaire had even, clicked on one of those sources, she would have realised that Janae never competed in the women's category. But she couldn't even be bothered to do that. And yet people hail Blaire as some sort of truth teller, Blaire White is out here destroying the libs, showing what a true, rational trans person is. That's bullshit. At the time of recording, that video is still up, and I know that Blaire White knows that she was wrong about Janae. Because Janae's fucking commented on that video, and Janae's comment is one of the top comments. Let me read it out to you. Blaire, I really wish you had reached out to me before making a video, including me and spreading a bunch of misinformation. If you had done some research ahead of time, you would have known that all my records and championships were achieved in the men's division. I have never competed as a woman, and I've been vocal about the fact I have no intention to. I respect your right to have your own opinion on trans athletes or any other topic, but spreading misinformation only causes more problems. If you have any questions or would like to discuss this further, feel free to reach out. What a legend! If I had been in Janae's place, my response would not nearly have been as civil as that. It's really worrying to me that Blaire just won't accept this criticism and won't take the video down. Has her audience coddled her so much that she can't accept when she is in the wrong? I don't know. I think in this situation, there really are only two scenarios. A, Blaire White intentionally misrepresented this situation to further her own narrative because she knows that her audience will not fact check her and she just wants to make money. Or B, she's stupid. I don't see any other way this video could have been made. But I don't think that Blaire White is stupid. I don't. But that just makes it 10 times worse. Because it's better to be stupid but well-meaning than intelligent and a liar. Something that I'm really passionate about is responsible platforming. That's something that means a lot to me. Irresponsible platforming has the potential to do demonstrous harm on scales that we can't even comprehend. I'm from New Zealand, and a good, or rather horrible, example of this is the Christchurch shooter. He was radicalised online by figures, not unlike Blaire White. I'm not saying that, Blaire White is as bad as any of these other influencers, but he was radicalised online by these influencers. And then he went and shot up a mosque, killing lots of people. The Christchurch shooter lived in my hometown. My hometown was the original target, and I know people who lost family members in that shooting. It is horrific. It's one of the worst terrorist attacks in New Zealand history, and it occurred because of this misinformation being spread online. Now obviously this is a far more extreme situation than Blaire White's, but I just kind of wanted to compare the two and show that, if you have a large platform, that comes with a responsibility. You are responsible for shaping the views of your audience. I only have 6,000 subscribers, yet I've had people tell me that I have changed their mind. So if I can change people's minds at only 6k, what can Blaire White do at over 1 million? But yeah, I think that brings me to the end of the video. It's a really awful situation, and I hope that Janae is doing okay. Janae, if you ever see this, just fucking respect. You handled this situation with so much dignity, and you were far more respectful than I think Blaire White deserved. I hope that the harassment stops, and I hope that Blaire White takes down that video and apologises, because that's what I think she should do. Do I think she actually will do that? I don't know. I honestly don't know with Blaire White. But yeah, like I said at the start, this is not a conversation on trans athletes. That is a whole different field. This is a conversation on responsible platforming. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of the video. I'm sorry I wasn't, I don't know, more upbeat. I just didn't really think it was a discussion to be upbeat about, I guess. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can. If you pledge $5, I draw a picture of you. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, it's just Cops8Mo on everything. You can join my Discord server if you want. But yeah, that's all I got to say really. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, stay safe, and I'll see you.